Okay, what's up, y'all? Listen, today we have a special guest. We have Rachel Burrell in the house, okay? Artist, author, storyteller, just very talented. I listened to, y'all know I'm a music lover. I listened to one of her albums, the one that I found on Spotify called Victorious.
Yep.
Correct? Yeah, Victorious. I mean, I'm glad I got her here. And if you want to introduce yourself further, feel free.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on. So yeah, you pretty much summed it up in a nutshell. I think I classify myself as a performer, a lover of poetry and performing arts, and those are really the things that introduced me to the stage. And I started writing I started writing casually in high school, more so as a just a therapeutic release, and I really got into writing professionally in 2020, where I put out my first book. And then, as far as the music, I've been doing that for a while. So yeah.
Got you. Okay. See, my approach was before, because you sent me your bio, and you know what I'm saying, I went on your website, I checked, I looked at it, but my approach was before any of that, I was gonna go straight to the music.
Okay.
So I wanted to see if, because I'm a music lover, like only thing I can't do is make music. Like I'm open to all types of music. You know what I'm saying? I listen to music all day, everything. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to the music first and see if I can, because I always feel like I learn artists through the music. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
see if I can learn her through the music before I read anything about her.
I
And
like that about you. I like that you have an open mind, because I really feel like that's how people should approach art, is that it's subjective, and there are cases where everyone might interpret it in different ways. So if you come in with an open mind, I think that's a plus.
yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I was like, because when I turned it on, I said, okay, this is like spoken word, and it's like I'm listening to the music, but I'm really focused on the words. I'm letting the music just play, and then I got to the track. Man, it was called I got it here. Oh,
Oh,
look at you, look at you.
oh, okay.
I
Okay.
heard look at you, and I said, okay, okay, and then I got to welcome to stay, and I said, oh, okay. She switched it
Okay.
up on me. Yeah.
Yeah, that has a bit of a dancey beat vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just let me play that a little bit, because
Okay, okay.
that one right there. When that one came on, I said, okay,
Okay,
I see
okay,
what's going on.
okay.
Yeah, that right there. Yeah.
Hey.
When that one came on, I said, okay, now I'm on a little adventure. Like, you know
Okay.
what I'm saying? That's what it felt like, an audio adventure. That's the way I thought of it.
I love
Um,
that.
so I want to ask, was that a personal album? It felt personal. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like everything that I put out is very personal. And although it's interesting, the love songs are more so pulling from experience, whereas songs like Silent was based on my direct experience in corporate America, which I haven't been in since 2020. And that I was sort of a release in some of the things that I experienced, and feeling like, people wanted to silence me based on the environment, that if you speak up, you almost have a target in your back in certain environments. So that was where the inspiration for that track in particular. And then Victorious, the title track, is just that, with everything that happens in life, it's just knowing that you can overcome it and that you can be victorious. So I wanted there to be some positive light at the end of the tunnel outlook too, in spite of everything else that's happening. And then, yeah, Welcome to Stay was, just me having an interest in someone and realizing that it doesn't make sense to force anything. Like, the connection should feel and be organic. And so at that point, it's like, you're welcome to stay. I want you to stay, but you're welcome to go too. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna push it. Like, whatever, if it's meant to be, if it's supposed to happen, it's gonna work. So that was the sort of vibe with that one.
I caught that early on. Okay, all right. And then
Yeah.
Let It Down was kind of like a party kind of joint a little bit too.
Yeah, exactly. Let It Down has a party vibe beat, but it is about relationships and like breaking down those walls and just, you know, being open to openness and love. And, you know, that can be hard if you've been like hurt.
For sure. Yeah.
To get back to that place. So yeah, that was just me saying like, you know, let those walls down. You might find that something beautiful happens when you do.
Let me see. Give him a little bit of that. A little bit of that one. Yeah, I like that one too. I turned that one up.
Hey.
Yeah, just a little bit of that one on there.
Hey.
So this is my little quick breakdown of the whole thing was, okay. Oh, first of all, I have to say there are a couple things that get me. Like,
Okay.
I'm automatically like, I'm in once if I hear strings on instruments.
Oh, okay.
Hear the words always get, but for you the reverb.
Okay.
When I hear the reverb, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I've got to send you some of my live stuff because when I perform live, I perform with a band and they go in on guitar. So I think you dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you dig that.
Yeah. I think that's why the strings get me, like whatever instrument with the strings, because that's how it feels like live.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a concert kind of guy, but I do like live music.
Yeah, I'm more of a I go to open mics and showcases here in Jersey. When I get a chance to, like, or outdoor concerts in the summer, they have a ton of them in the park. That's my vibe.
Okay, yeah. So still like live, but not like a crazy big environment.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how it is for me.
Yeah.
Did you produce this?
No, I work with an engineer named Joe Wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was great production on there.
But I write all of the songs. I wrote all of the songs.
Yeah, just not.
But yeah, he mixes and masters it and so forth.
I'll make a good team. I mean, because it was good. It was.
Yeah. He's done most of my projects actually. I was working with another gentleman who was really, really dope. Unfortunately, he passed. Not to make the mood, but yeah, he was like, man, we had a really, really dope connection creatively. But Joe also gets my style at this point too. So yeah.
It seems like it seems like that. It seems like y'all make a good team, and it comes through the music for sure.
Yeah, it's a good vibe. It's a good vibe when we link.
So now, would you or have you written for other artists? Like, would you get into that?
I haven't written for other artists. I do have. So I think I don't know if I was mentioning to you that I'm working on a project now, and I'm working on it with a really close friend of mine, Israel, aka Is. And he's really, like, when I work with him, I've worked with him in the past. He's so socially conscious. I consider myself socially conscious too, but he's like next level. And so when I work with him, it really is just a very different dynamic where now I'm thinking about the civil rights. You know, I'm just thinking way different when I link with him. And so usually I do write all of my own stuff, but when I work with him, there are times when he might write the hook. And that's the case with this project. He wrote all of the hooks and I'm writing all of the verses that you hear me singing. So that'll be an interesting vibe because really he set the tone. I listen to the hooks. I'm like, all right, okay, this is where he's going with this. All right, let me write around that. So I think that should be out in like mid-September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely on the lookout for that. That'll be that's gonna be like on Spotify.
That's gonna be on Spotify. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But so like I said, I turned on the music before I read anything. But then after I was seeing that some of your inspiration was okay. I added my own in there. I don't know. Did you say Sade?
Yeah, I probably said Sade. I think I said Sade, Jill Scott, Mariah Carey, but I love Sade, so I'm sure I said Sade. I mean, Sade It's dope. Sade has that lower deep alto that I just love, and I mean the soul, the longevity. I tend to be drawn to the artists who've just been able to be very sustainable in the industry, because that's really hard to do. So that says something.
Yeah.
But I just like that old school soul vibe. I like Motown. I like a little bit of everything. So like you, I mean, I'm Jamaican background, so I love reggae. I mean, I can't leave that out. It's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I find myself really drawn to like soul music, that passion. And yeah, Jill Scott very just lays it out on the table with her music, you know, Unafraid. And she incorporates a lot of some spoken word elements into some of her songs too, which I like. I pretty much am drawn to people who aren't necessarily afraid to not follow the mold all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I in my when I was listening, I heard some like what felt like some Tony Braxton.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Voice wise, it felt like a Prince vibe a little bit in there too. That might have been more production.
Okay.
But the way that you were on the songs felt like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't sound like a Prince song, but kind of just the style of how he kind of arranges things and stuff like that. It kind of felt like some Prince vibe in there a little bit.
Okay.
Like, yeah. So.
Yeah. I'm like, maybe I've gotten Tony because of the lower register. I've gotten like Grace Jones. I have gotten Sade. Some people, Erica Badu. But I think it depends on when people are catching me, because I actually sound very different with the band. You know, it's like it's like a 180.
Yeah. Is it gonna be some of that on the new project?
With the band?
Well, like that, like that sound, or will it be more similar? I know you said it's not.
Oh yeah, what we're working on won't be similar to what you heard at all.
Okay.
Yeah, like at all.
Yeah.
And I am having one of the guitarists that I play with. He should be coming in. Well, I'm not. My friend is suggested guitar on one of the tracks, so I just sent it to him, and he's gonna put some guitar tunes over it. So yeah, it's very different, even lyrically, stylistically, just because it's both of our styles meshing together. And you know, like I was saying, when I work with him, it tends to bring out a different side of me too, which I kind of like. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll be looking forward to it then.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, I'll be doing this out.
So what I didn't get around to was some of your books that you wrote. So just tell me a little bit about those. I think I saw 4. I don't know how many.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2 of them are only in ebook format, and the other 2 are, you can do ebook or paperback. The first one is Memories That Linger. That's a short story based on a family, and the protagonist is Aisha. She's a young lady who's stepping into her early adulthood and being on her own in her healing process, healing journey. And then the second one is this, Journey to Purpose, which is not necessarily an extent. This is actually centered around my life completely, and just my journey to stepping into purpose and finding purpose. You know, I highlight a lot of the ups and downs that I've been through in life and how they led me to this place where I was confronted with either like more of the same or changing my mindset, which then led me to change my actions to step into my purpose. So this really is for anyone who's feeling stuck, who's just not sure where to turn, who's feeling like hopeless about life. I would suggest reading this. And then there's Lines and In Between, which is original poetry of mine. And then the last one's very different. It's a sales book because I spent 8 years in sales. So that's like tips and tricks for how to close some deals, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
It's
So
very different.
every market with it then.
Yeah.
You know, so you were referring to 2020 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Did COVID do anything to kind of push you into like more of a creative kind of mode, or was that just something just clicked?
Yeah, I think it gave me more time. You know, prior to COVID, I would always say like I'm paying rent just to come sleep in my apartment because I was just not here. I literally was coming in just to sleep and then back out. So I think COVID just gave me an opportunity to be home, which meant I was able to stop and slow down and think. I really feel like I wouldn't have put out any of these books if COVID didn't happen, to be honest. I was hosting an open mic and showcase in Jersey. And I was going to open mics to perform, and then I was doing shows with the band, but it was still work, make time for a show if I felt like, you know what I mean? It wasn't the priority, even though I love it so much. But so, yeah, I would say that now I've had time to, it's a different kind of work that's required now, but it's the kind of work that I want to do in being able to share words and art, because I just feel like art is so powerful. Like when I talk about how I started doing musical theater in high school, that was at a point and like some of the lowest moments in my life, and it was like getting involved in musical theater that like rejuvenated me and gave me something, and so that's why I'm just so passionate about sharing too, with other people. So yeah, it gave me I would say everything that happened in 2020 gave me an opportunity to just put things in perspective, like a lot of people. I think it made a lot of people just like reevaluate certain things.
Yeah, I was just about to say it seems like COVID either made you lose your mind or made you tap into something else that you was already wanting to do, but
Yeah,
gave you that time and a reason to kind of do it.
yeah, it did a little bit of both. I did kind of lose my mind.
Yeah, I think we all might have been a little
Yeah,
thrown off with that one. Yeah,
right.
it kind of got to a point where, well, for me anyway, it made me say like, okay, this shows me that at any time everything can just be done, and I can't rely on whatever job I'm working, or I got to do it myself. Whatever it is I want to do, I just got to do it now. And I always say that you have time, but you don't have time. Like,
Right.
you got to just do it, and kind of what happens throughout, you got to deal with that, but you got to do it now. Like whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's something that I started talking about too, because I have two poems that are titled Time Part 1 and Time Part 2. And it's like time is, and you're right, time is so important. We have control over what we do with our time, but we don't have control over how much time we have here. And so it's like, if you've got to do it now. I don't know if you're familiar with Les Brown. He's a motivational speaker who I listen to a ton. And he always talks about that. It's like, you've got to start now. You've got to do it now. Like, even if no one's saying you got to have it all figured out, like figure it out along the way sometimes. But like, if you keep putting it off, it's never going to get done. So you might as well start and learn along the way. Like, there's still things that I'm still learning along the way as I'm doing it, but it's like things kind of start to work out for you, kind of start to connect with different people as you start to put yourself out there too. So, but no one can find you if you're not, you kind of just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You gotta be in it.
Like, yeah.
It's everything else will work out if you're doing it, but
exactly.
You gotta get in there.
You at least give yourself a shot.
Exactly. Yeah. So now I saw that you do like workshops and things like that. Are you a teacher, or you just kind of do teach people?
No, I'm not a teacher by trade. My mom's a teacher by trade. So
okay.
I actually just started doing this series with her called Avoiding Pitfalls in Communication, where we're going through the basics of writing and language and tense and past tense and all that. But no, as far as going into schools, I go in and I teach like writing workshops, creative workshops. And a lot of times what we'll do is we'll pick a topic or pick various topics, the students will write about it, and some of them will then perform at the end of the workshop. So
Okay.
it's really cool. It's it's just it's something that I do on my time because again, of what I said with how I needed that outlet in high school. And it's very interesting because a lot of times people don't know what you're going through unless you tell them, right? Because some people are able to mask what they're going through. Some people really won't share it because they feel like no one cares, or people might make fun of them, whatever. And it's really interesting because whenever we do, I found that when I've done the workshop, a lot of the students get up and share really, really vulnerable pieces. And it's just like, wow, and I feel like they get up and share pieces and parts of themselves that they probably wouldn't have done, at least not at that time. So it's really beautiful to see. But sometimes I don't do the workshops. I'll just go in and perform. The previous one I did, I just went in and went in with my guitarist and we performed some original tracks and then we took questions. So
Okay.
yeah, it's just a nice way to stay connected to sort of hear and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while since I've been in high school, so I'm just like, it's just nice to kind of go back and kind of hear and see what's happening. And I feel like things are moving at a faster pace now than when I was in school. So
yeah,
it's like, it's just nice, and some of the things that the students have confided in me with, even on the side, I'm just like, man, so it's just a way to be like of some sort of a positive impact. And that's really important to me because, like I said, everyone doesn't have a great home life, and students, sometimes we're just looking for I was that person who I was like, needed something. I was like mad depressed. I was like, man, I need something. And like junior year, I got involved in musical theater, and that really was the turnaround for me. And that's why now I'm just like, I gotta go back in and just be in any way I can be some sort of a voice or some sort of a, like, I might not know what you're going through, but I've been through some things and I understand, and here's how art can help, because I do think art can help when used in the right way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So basically, like your past kind of makes you want to help people, like younger people and things like that.
For sure.
What makes you want to like actually do it though? Because I mean, some people will have problems in their past. They'll find something that kind of saves them, and they don't feel the need to spread a message or help others. What makes you want to do that though?
I think, truthfully, I feel like I feel things very deeply. I don't know. There are pros and cons to that. I feel things very deeply, and I'm just a really empathetic person by nature. And also, I think just based on my experience, even doing the open mic and showcases, which I was hosting with a friend since 2000. It started in 2013 and up until 2020 when we stopped, when the pandemic happened. We haven't picked it up since. Just meeting and connecting with people from different walks of life, because it was called Mixed Pleasures, and it was literally a mixture of all art forms and all types of people come through. And you just realize that at the end of the day, everyone's looking for something and wanting to belong to something. And, the art allows a certain freedom, because I have found that, for me at least, because I found that some of the things that I might open up about in my writing or in performing, I probably won't open up over coffee with you or something, you know what I mean? But and I think that's why you even find like some of the students get up and share these really vulnerable pieces. So that's why it's important, because sometimes you just need to get things off your chest. Sometimes you have things bottled up. One of the students that I spoke with, she was talking about being in an abusive relationship, and these were 9th through 12th grade students.
Oh wow.
And no one knew. I mean, she pulled me to the side, but the point is that that's something that you could tell she couldn't open up to anyone about. And that's what I'm saying. It can feel like the world's caving in on you when you feel like you're alone, because I know what it's been like to feel alone, because I know that feeling of just feeling completely isolated, like no one understands. And I know that I'm not the only one who's felt like that. And I know now that there's even more pressures. Like I said, to me, I feel like on kids now. I have 3 nephews, so I'm just like, man, it's just like a lot more tense now. So I just feel like, and like I said, not everyone comes from, unfortunately, a great and stable home life.
Right.
So in knowing these things, I'm like, okay, if I can just, I'm still figuring things out too, and still working on my own healing and growth, even though I've made a lot of progress. But it's also very healing for me too to go in and give back in that way. So, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's a great thing to do. I mean, really, and it's like the thing with me is like how you said, everybody has issues and things like that, and you want to get them out.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I can't make music. I love music. I
Mm-hmm.
listen to music to kind of for therapy.
Yeah.
But what helps me is podcasts. Like,
Love it.
Yeah. When I get to just, I can go in there and I just talk because, you know, if I'm talking to a group of people that I don't really know, I'm not giving them all of my mind. Like,
right.
You know, they could be saying something that kind of sparked my interest. I could hear it and I'm like, I got an opinion, but, you know, I just kind of let it ride. But
exactly,
I might talk about something that's been in my brain for weeks on a podcast, and then it's just out, and whoever listen, but it's just me getting it off my chest.
Like, exactly. When did you start the podcast?
I started it like 2 years ago.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah, but it was I have 4 kids, so a lot of times, like right before my kid gets here, a couple months before, and then like right after, I go into a state of like, I just shut everything. Like I get off social media. Like I just focus in on like, we got to do this right here, right now. And it was a lot of that while I was doing my podcast, where it's long breaks in between. But at this point now, I just feel like I'm just kind of flowing, and it's like, it's not what I always said was like, when I make a episode or whatever, I don't want it to be where I feel like I'm just on there talking, forcing things. Like, I want to be on there, and because I have a few listeners who will, you know, tell me about it and, you know, tell me their thoughts on what I'm saying. I wanted to be something with purpose. Like, not just blabbering. Because some people get on there and they're like, so tell me the difference between orange and red. And they just, and I don't want to be that. So I'm like, no, I want to get on there and talk about something I care about. So. Yeah,
that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. Yeah, no, your vibe's very natural and welcoming. So
yeah, that's what
I think you got a future in this.
Oh man, you know, I'm trying. I'm in broadcast school right now.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah, because if I can, I mean, podcasting is what I enjoy. And I look at it as kind of like a hobby, but if I can get somewhere and give my opinion to a wide range of people, that's kind of what I want to do.
Yeah, you can do it for sure.
Yeah. So, I think I got all of my questions out, everything I was kind of thinking about, and you know, like I said, I feel connected by the music at this point, and I'm definitely a fan.
Good, thank you. I appreciate that.
And I appreciate that. I didn't get a chance to, because I do some reading. I read, you know, I didn't get a chance to check out any of your books, but I'm definitely interested in the short novel. I assume it's fiction about the girl.
Journey to Purpose. It's a mixture of both, because I did pull from some of my experiences growing up, where I mentioned, there's a part where I mentioned like she has 2 brothers. There's certain parts that are very much me, but honestly, that the short story is so raw. It's so deep. It's a mixture of both fiction and nonfiction, but what I haven't told the reader is which parts are the nonfiction. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to, maybe one day I'll say, you know, that part, but it's so heavy, you know, it's it's so raw. I don't necessarily want to say heavy. It's such a vulnerable piece. So I'm just like, you know, to say like, yeah, that was me who went through those things still feels a little like, you know, some parts.
Yeah.
I think for people who like really, there's some people who know me like really, really inside and out. They're like, wait, was that part where? Because I remember you mentioned your dad, you know. So there's some
Yeah.
parts where it's like, but yeah, that's a mixture of both.
I think that might be one of the benefits to art though, because
Yeah,
now you can leave it to interpretation. You know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
you know, so and that one and the I think the one you're holding.
Yeah,
You
Journey to
know,
Purpose. This one is
oh,
completely nonfiction.
yeah, okay, yeah. See, those two are the ones that that got my interest the most. Yeah,
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, I would love to hear your feedback.
yeah.
I would love to hear your feedback. The short story is like an easy read. We've been done with that in one day.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's literally a short story.
Well, I'll
um,
definitely get on
but
Amazon for those.
yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts. But you know, it's just we'll see what the future holds. Right now, I'm back in music mode. Like when I was writing the books, my friend he was hitting me up because I had no intentions of even getting back in the studio for a while, and he's hitting me up. He's like, come on, no, I got a good idea, come on. And I'm like, no, and so he's like low key mad at me because we were supposed to be done with the project, but I was like, I can't focus on the book and like writing the songs, you know.
Yeah.
So now the books are done, and I'm in complete every other second I'm getting an idea for a song. So it's crazy how that works, you know. As soon as like a switch from okay book to okay song. So yeah, so that's where I'm at now. It might be some just all music for a bit.
Oh yeah. See, I mean, I feel like that's when you might have your best projects.
I mean, that's the goal, to always keep improving, and then to getting back on stage, because I think I'm not nervous, but I haven't been on stage since 2020.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so I'm like, I want to get back on stage before the year's up.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got time. Summer about to be over.
Yep, that's the goal. Even if it's an open mic, fall, you know, just to kind of get that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But thank you.
Definitely rooting for you. You know.
Likewise.
You
and
know.
I've been listening because I listened to a few of the episodes and I was vibing because, you know, I think it needs to be mutual. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it, the energy, blah, blah, blah. And
yeah.
I'm feeling it. So you definitely have like I said, because I'm big on just vibe, energy, very, very calming, welcoming vibe that I'm feeling. So, and, you know, that's what the guest wants, to feel comfortable. So yeah, definitely keep it up. I'm rooting for you too.
Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna hold you much longer. I know we both gotta get up out of here. All right then. Let me send you out one of my favorites.
Hey.
One of my favorites. What's this? Oh, this one right here. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
This one got me too.
You might have been waiting too long.
Yeah.
There's a funny story behind this track.
Oh yeah.
How much longer are you going to wait?
Again, appreciate you for taking some time out.
Thank you.
Podcast. And
my pleasure.
I'm when you drop your new project, I'll have you back on for sure. Cause I'm gonna get
okay, I love that. If I could come on with that'd be cool, because you know, like I said, it's like at that point it'll be us as a duo. So
right.
And it'll be a complete, man, you'll be like, is that the same person? So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When y'all drop that, I'll have y'all back on here for sure.
Okay. All right. I look forward to it.
All right. Well,
all right.
Have a good one. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Peace.